It's late again. You checked the time knowing you shouldn't, and the number on the screen made your stomach drop. You promised yourself you'd sleep early tonight. You always do. And yet, here you are, wide awake, scrolling, watching, thinking, telling yourself you'll stop in just a few minutes. What's strange is that you're tired, but not ready for sleep. Your body wants rest, but your mind feels finally alive. This isn't laziness, it isn't lack of discipline, and it isn't just bad habits. There's a psychological reason some people come alive when the rest of the world shuts down, and once you understand it, staying up late stops feeling like a failure and starts making uncomfortable sense. Psychologists call people like this evening chronotypes, often known as night owls. Their internal clock is naturally shifted later. Their brain releases sleep hormones later, their alertness peaks later, and their focus often arrives when others are winding down. This isn't something you choose, it's how your nervous system is wired. While society expects productivity at 9 a.m., your mind may not fully come online until late afternoon or night. So when the world slows, your brain is just getting started. The problem isn't that your rhythm is wrong, it's that your rhythm doesn't match the schedule you're forced to live by. For many late sleepers, night doesn't feel like extra time. It feels like the only time that belongs to them. During the day, your attention is borrowed. Messages, responsibilities, expectations, noise. Even when you're alone, your mind is on alert. At night, demands fade. Notifications slow. The pressure to respond disappears. And in that quiet, your nervous system finally exhales. You're not avoiding sleep. You're protecting a rare moment where nothing is being asked of you. The silence creates a psychological boundary, and inside it, you can finally think your own thoughts without interruption. This is why so many night owls report feeling more creative and focused after midnight. The stillness removes urgency. There's no rush, no performance, no audience. Studies describe how reduced stimulation allows deeper concentration, especially for reflective minds. Writing, gaming, drawing, watching videos. It's not always about entertainment, it's about control. Control over pace, control over attention, control over when something starts and when it ends. When your days feel managed by others, the night becomes a quiet rebellion, a space where you decide how time is used. Sleep researchers have a name for this pattern: revenge bedtime procrastination. It's the decision to stay up late on purpose to reclaim personal time after a day that felt controlled. You know you'll pay for it tomorrow, but going straight from obligations to sleep feels worse. So you delay rest, not because you don't value sleep, but because you value autonomy. The irony is that the more you steal time from the night, the more exhausted the next day becomes, making the night feel even more precious. The cycle reinforces itself quietly. Over time, this mismatch takes a toll. Mornings feel foggy. Your body wakes up before your mind is ready. Small problems feel heavier than they should. Late at night, when you're tired and alone with your thoughts, worries grow louder. Conversations replay. Regrets stretch out. Anxiety has space to echo. Psychologists call this social jet lag, the chronic strain of living out of sync with your biology. It's not dramatic, but it's draining, and the night that once felt like refuge slowly becomes the place where exhaustion and overthinking meet. Here's what matters. Staying up late doesn't mean you're lazy, immature, or undisciplined. Part of this pattern is biological. Part of it is psychological. Many people use the night to process emotions they didn't have time to feel during the day. Quiet makes space for reflection, creativity, decompression. Your mind didn't choose this to sabotage you, it chose it to protect you. The problem begins when the only place you feel like yourself is after midnight. What started as self-preservation slowly becomes self-neglect. This isn't about forcing yourself into a 5 a.m. routine or pretending you're someone else. It's about understanding why your brain resists bedtime so fiercely. Maybe you need clearer boundaries during the day. Maybe you need small pockets of quiet before midnight so night doesn't carry all the emotional weight. Maybe you need to stop attacking yourself for having a late-wired mind and start designing a life that respects it. When your need for control, rest, and reflection is met earlier, bedtime stops feeling like surrender. For many people, the relief comes when they stop seeing their sleep pattern as a moral failure. When they realize their mind wasn't avoiding life, it was carving out space to breathe. Night owls often feel deeply, think intensely, and process slowly. That depth doesn't disappear just because the clock says it should. When you honor your rhythm instead of fighting it, the guilt loosens. Sleep becomes something you move toward, not something you argue with every night. If this felt uncomfortably familiar, let it sit with you. Not to fix yourself, but to understand yourself. Notice what the night gives you that the day doesn't, and ask whether there's a way to bring a little of that quiet into your daylight hours. If this reflection helped you see your habits differently, you can stay here. More videos like this are already waiting. And if you know someone who always says, "I'll sleep early tonight," only to vanish at 3 a.m., maybe send this their way. Sometimes understanding is more powerful than advice.